at New Vrindavan on June 16th, 1969. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we are waiting to hear from you. Please take over Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरो मिलितं येन श्रीचतापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिचदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च दो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा. One minute. They were reading from the Caitanya Bhagavata, Madhya Khanda, chapter 28. So, can somebody share the screen? Or otherwise, I'll only go through it. If I share the screen, my that it becomes a load on my internet connection. I'll
Okay,
read the
Prabhu. Yeah.
verses.
1 second, Prabhuji. And also, Prabhuji, if possible, maybe we can even keep the video off to improve the network connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I audible properly now?
Now it's better, Prabhu.
Okay.
Okay. 1 second.
The Madhya Khanda, chapter 28, it is entitled The Lord's Pastime of Accepting Sannyas. We are going to read from verse number 27 to 32. Yadi ama prati sneha take sabakara tabe Krishna vyatirikta nagaibe ara. If you have any affection for me, then don't speak about any topics other than Krishna. Purport. Contrary characteristics are manifest by the Vidvat and the Avid. There is a separate understanding in the difference established between one word and another. The faculty of a word that establishes unity Therefore, in the Vidvad Rudi of the word Krishna, there is no attribution of any sentiment for enjoying objects other than Krishna. If there is such an attribution, then it will be understood that diversity has come to disturb Advaya Jnana, the absolute truth. This is subordination to Maya. The discrimination arising from acceptance that liberated personalities chanting of Krishna's names through Vidvad Rudi is an irresolute, is full of defects. Therefore, while teaching topics of spiritual knowledge to both the students under the guidance of Gangadas Pandit, as well as the students and teachers of the mundane schools of Navadvipa, Sri Gaur Sundar composed the first verse of Shikshashtaka. In the second verse of Shikshashtaka, there is an elaboration of the first. And in the third verse, the Lord reveals the world the method of properly serving the first verse. In the fourth verse, he describes the process for giving up desires. That are not related to Krishna. In realization of the Supreme Lord's opulences, absolute truth, and reactions of the body, mind, and speech are described in the sixth verse. According to the consideration, the seventh verse, a practitioner achieves realization of one's original constitutional position. He taught the eighth verse so that the same practitioner could become decorated with all the symptoms of complete surrender by freeing himself from the bad association of aversion to Hari while giving up the concept of enjoyment in the course of chanting the holy names and thus attain Krishna Prema. Other than this, he forbade all of his beloved associates from discussing any topics indirectly related to Krishna. The living entities bereft of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra's affection do not accept the Supreme Lord, who is full of transcendental rasa, as their beloved, because their hearts are dry and hard. No one other than Swayam Rupa, Krishna, is bold enough to impart such instruction. Aharnisha Chinta Krishna Balaha Vadane. Whether you are sleeping, eating, or waking, day and night, think of Krishna and chant his name. For one who has heard the Kirtan inaugurated by Gaura, there is no, or to give up the chanting the names of Krishna 24 hours every day, even while eating, sleeping, or waking. Yei mata shubha drishti kari sabha kare, upadesha kahi sabe bale ya vogare. In this way, the Lord cast his merciful glance on everyone who came. And after instructing them, he said, now you go home. Ei mata katayaya katava aise kehakare nahi chine anande te vase. In this way, many people came and went. They floated in such ecstasy that they did not recognize one another. Purna Haila Shri Vigraha Chandana Malaya Chandre Kate Kashobha Kahane Nayaya. The beautiful body of the Lord, decorated with sandalwood pulp and flower garlands, could not be compared to the insignificant beauty of the full moon. Since the Krishna body of Sri Gaur Sundar was covered with a sandalwood paste and flower garlands offered to his devotees, his supreme beauty was fully manifested. The extraordinary beauty that manifests in the body of Sri Gaurachandra because of those decorations cannot be compared with the brightly shining full moon. Prasada paya sabe harashita ha auchahari dvani sabe yayena kariya. After receiving the Lord's mercy, all the people became ecstatic and left loudly chanting Hari Hari. Hare Krishna. Alright. We are reading this beautiful section from Caitanya Bhagavata, especially from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sannyas Leela.
Hey Krishna Prabhu, sorry to interrupt. Because the bandwidth from your side is very low, can we switch off the video? That way the audio comes through nicely.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So this is a beautiful section from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sannyas Leela. I'll first go through the first verse again. So Mahaprabhu is telling to the devotees who came to meet him. Are you able to hear properly now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So Mahaprabhu is saying that if you have any affection for me, then don't speak about any topics other than Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after he manifested his pastimes as a devotee, then as days progressed, he started manifesting more and more increased attraction for Krishna. So in this section, we see that Mahaprabhu is telling to the devotees that just go on actually glorifying Krishna, go on chanting names of Krishna, don't speak anything other than Krishna, even indirectly connected to Krishna. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur is giving a little technical purport. I'll go through it again. Contrary characteristics are manifest by the Vidvad Rudi and the Avidvad Rudi of sound vibrations. There is a separate understanding in the difference established between one word and another. The faculty of a word that establishes unity in diversity is the strength of a word's Vidvat Rudi, or the conventional meaning of the words according to the enlightened persons. So in the Vidvad Rudi of the word Krishna, there is no attribution of any sentiment for enjoying objects other than Krishna. If there is such attribution, then it will be understood that diversity has come to disturb the Advaya Jnana. So the discrimination arising from acceptance that liberated personalities chanting of Krishna's names through Vidvat Rudi is irresolute, diverse, and many branched is full of defects. So here, what Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur is saying is that in the Vidvad Rudi explanation of a particular word, Vidvad Rudi explanation of a meaning of a word is nothing but the conventional meaning of the word. So there is something called as the conventional meaning and the etymological meaning. For example, Pankaja. The conventional meaning of the word Pankaja, it refers to a lotus. Etymological meaning of the word Pankaja is that which is born in the mud. Panka refers to mud. Pankaja means born in the mud. So the etymological meaning can refer to many things. It can refer to many other insects also, which may be born in the mud. But the conventional meaning of the word Pankaja refers to the lotus. And there is a rule that conventional meaning overrides the etymological meaning. Even though the etymological meaning Pankaja can refer to some insect also, but the conventional meaning overrides the etymological meaning. So here, the Vidvad Rudi, or the conventional meaning of the word Krishna, is that there is no attribution of any sentiment for enjoying objects other than Krishna. So that means a person is completely focused on serving Krishna. A person's mind is completely absorbed in Krishna. Suppose if there is a attribution of, if there is some sentiment for enjoying objects other than Krishna, That means diversity has come to disturb the Advaya Jnana. Advaya Jnana refers to the absolute truth. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yadjnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. So the Advaya Jnana, the non-dual, Advaya Jnana. Advaya means dual, Advaya means non-dual. So the non-dual absolute truth is known by the learned people by the word Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So if there is a attribution, sentiment for enjoying objects other than Krishna, that means the other material desires or other multi-branched intelligence has come to disturb one's devotion to the absolute truth. That is what Krishna says in the Gita. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya pakrita chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhis samadavuna vidiyate. For a person whose intelligence is multi-branched, the resolute determination, vyavasayatmika buddhi, the resolute determination for serving Krishna does not take place. So, if somebody says that when the liberated people, when they chant Krishna's names, their intelligence is also multi-branched. That means their intelligence is also focused on many other things. So that such an understanding is actually full of defect. So in the liberated state, a person's all one's faculties are, all one's senses are focused on serving Krishna. Just like Ambarish Maharaj, Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayor Vacham Vaikunta Gunanu Varnane. Ambarish Maharaj, all one's senses were focused on serving Krishna. So, when Caitanya Mahaprabhu was teaching the topics of spiritual knowledge to the students who were under the guidance of Gangadas Pandit, as well as the other students and teachers of the in the Navadvip under different schools, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu composed the first verse of Shikshashtakam. That means Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur said the Shikshashtakam, the first verse was composed in Mahaprabhu's pre-sannyas Leela itself. So in the first verse of Chaitanya Shikshashtakam, Mahaprabhu is teaching the spiritual knowledge. That means he is telling about the potency of the holy name. Cheto Darpanam Arjanam, Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam, Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidya Vadu Jivanam, Anandam Buddhivardhanam, Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. So in the first verse, Mahaprabhu is teaching the potency of the glories of the holy name are actually presented at the first verse of the Shikshashtakam. So, Cheto Darpanam Arjanam, Cheta. The holy name cleanses the mirror of the consciousness. Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam. It eradicates the massive wildfire of the material existence. Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam. Samsara Dava Nalida Loga, we sing every day. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. The holy name causes a moonlight diffusion that blooms the night water lily of all around auspiciousness. Means the holy name bestows all around auspiciousness by giving the transcendental moonlight. Vidya Vadu Jivanam or the Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is the life and soul of the Vidya Vadu, Vadu refers to the newly wed bride. Vidya Vadu Jivanam. Sri Krishna Sankirtanam is the life and soul. Jivanam means life and soul. Life and soul of the newly wed bride of the spiritual knowledge. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. It swells the ocean of joy. Purnamrita Swadanam. It causes an experience of the complete nectarian bliss. And Pratipadam Sarvatma Snapanam. Each successive syllable as well as the word, it thoroughly cleanses the Sarva Atma Snapanam. It thoroughly gives a bath to the Atma. Thoroughly cleanses one's Atma. So may that Sri Krishna Sankirtanam reign supremely victorious. So we see Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. This Caitanya Shikshashtaka is something so special. Krishna was thinking that I am the Rasaraj. I am supposed to be the greatest enjoyer of love. But how is it that Srimati Radharani is enjoying, steal that love from the heart of Srimati Radharani? So therefore he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when a thief steals something, after stealing, he has to hide in a dark, somewhere in a dark place. So Kali Yuga is a dark place. So Mahaprabhu, after stealing, he comes to hide in that dark place of Kali Yuga. And when the thief is supposed about to be caught by the policemen, the best way to escape getting caught is to distribute what you have stolen to others, so that there will be no evidence for that you have stolen something. So Lord Chaitanya, therefore, he started distributing the love of Srimati Radharani to others. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started distributing, his effulgence started increasing more and more. Therefore, the more we actually distribute the holy name, more we share Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's teachings, the more one will receive the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And at the end of his life, Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami, they started interrogating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to confess that he had stolen. So the confession of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during that interrogation, that came out in the form of the Shikshashtakam prayers. So Shikshashtakam prayers, in the first verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving the spiritual knowledge about the Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. And then Saraswati Thakur says that the second verse, there's a more elaboration of the first one. Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamitaha Smaranena Kalaha. How the holy name is so powerful. It does not depend on the time, place, and circumstance. All the Shakti of Krishna is invested in the holy name. In this world, so many things depend on the time and the place. The only thing which is independent time and place is holy name. They also depend on time and space. How to perform in the morning, like according to that strict this one. So many deity worship we have to offer at a particular time. Space, Pure place is required. So many things in devotional service also depends on time and space. But Ekadashi we observe it has to be broken at a particular time. But holy name is something which is independent of time and space. And apart from the bhakti, even in our world, many things are dependent on time and space. If we perform something either before time or late, then the activity may not give the appropriate intended fruit. Within the Varnashram Dharma, suppose if a person is given sannyas very early, exceptions are different thing, but giving sannyas early, it has a certain implication. Or if a person gets married late, then one may not be able to achieve the desired result of the marriage. Or a person, brahmachari ashram, which is supposed to be at a young age, but if it starts at a later age, then it has different implications. So only holy name is something which does not depend on time and space. That is described in the second verse. And then further, the third verse, Mahaprabhu is telling the proper method of chanting the holy name. Tranadapi sunichena, taroriva sahishruna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadahari. And the fourth verse, Mahaprabhu, this verse is Nadanam najanam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmani ishware, bhavatad bhakti rahetuki tvai. This verse is like the pole star for the Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Just like in the sky, when you want to locate different planets, you take the help of the pole star, and with the help of the pole star, you locate the different planets. So this verse, Nadanam Najanam Na Sundarim, this is like the pole star for the Gaudiya Vaishnavism, because it is actually truly telling us what is the sadhya. What is the sadhya? The goal is actually Krishna Prema. It is not even mukti, where here Mahaprabhu is praying that Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhakti Rahetuki Tvai. Life after life I desire to have. I just want to serve you. I want bhakti unto you. On the fifth verse, he describes giving up realization of the Supreme Lord's opulences while worshipping the supremely blissful absolute truth and chanting the holy names as an eternal servant. Ayi Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram, that Mahaprabhu is expressing his attraction to the Nanda Tanuja, the son of Nanda Maharaj. He's giving the attraction to all other forms of Krishna, by which has actually Aishwarya, which has predominance of Aishwarya. And then according to the consideration in the seventh verse, that the holy names and the Lord are non-different, a practitioner achieves perfection by attaining the state of Apana Dasha, the seventh verse. So realization of one's Apana Dasha is a realization of one's constitutional position. And then in the eighth verse, this how the practitioner can become decorated with all the symptoms of complete surrender. Aslishya va padaratam pinashtumam. So whether Krishna embraces me or whether he punishes me, so but I will never give up the lotus feet of Krishna. So the eighth verse, Aslishya va pada, if we see that this shloka expresses one's complete trust in Krishna. Complete trust in Krishna. In the Bhagavatam also, the Shikshashtakam, what is there in the Shikshashtakam prayer, it comes in many verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhu is saying that Srimad Bhagavatam Pura. So, for example, Najanam na Sundarim Kavitam va Jagadisha Kamaye. Srimad Bhagavatam we see, for example, in the prayers of Vritrasura, Nanaka Prishtam Nachaparameshtyam Na Sarvabhaumam Na Rasadhipatyam Na Yoga Siddhir Apunarbhavam va Samanjasatva Virahaya Kankshe Ajata Paksha Ivamataram Kaga Stanyam Yata Vatsatara Kshudarta Priyam Priyeva Yushitam Vishanna Mano Ravindaksha Didrikshate Tvam. In this prayers, we can see the same mood of Shikshashtakam coming. Nadanam na janam na sundarim. Ainanada Tanujam, Kavitam va Jagadesha Kamaye. All those. And also the mood of complete trust in Krishna. Aslishyava pada ratam pinashtumam. Complete trust in Krishna. This also comes in various places in the Srimad Bhagavatam. For example, in the Prithu Maharaj's prayer, Twan Mayayadda Janaisha Kandito Yadanyadashasta Ritatmano Buddha Yacha Yatacharet Balahitam Pita Swayam Tatatvam Evar Hasina Samihitum. Prithu Maharaj is saying that Lord Vishnu told him to ask for a benediction. But Prithu Maharaj is saying, just like a father knows what is best for the child, you know what is best for me, you only decide whatever is good for me, and then you give that benediction. You don't even have to ask my opinion. So this shows Prithu Maharaj's complete trust in Krishna. Of course, this complete trust is exhibited to the highest degree in the last verse of the Shikshashtakam. So in the Shikshashtakam, is such a profound, this one, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he composed only these 8 shlokas. To compose the complete essence in just in few shlokas, that is a profound thing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he inspired his devotees to write so many books. He inspired Rupa Goswami to write so many literatures, beginning with Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Upadeshamrita, etc. He inspired Sanatan Goswami to write Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Haribhakti Vilas, Vaishnava Toshini. He inspired Jiva Goswami to write so many literatures. He inspired Haridas Thakur to reveal the glories of the holy name. He inspired Ramananda Rai to speak about the Rasa Tattva. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj writes in his book, he says that there are 2 types of leaders, good leader and a great leader. A good leader, by being in the forefront, he accomplishes many things by being in the forefront. But a great leader is somebody who remains in the background, but he inspires many people to accomplish many things. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is showing the example of a great leader. He himself composed only 8 shlokas. Other than Swayam Rupa Krishna is bold enough to impart such instruction. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, we see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is intensely attracted to Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, we know this very famous shloka. Recently, I heard a wonderful meaning of this shloka. Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. The birth and activities of the Supreme Lord Krishna, my birth and my appearance and activities are all transcendental. One who knows this in truth, such a person will not take birth again in this world. So this shloka also has another esoteric meaning. Janma karma chame divyam. Janma karma cha me. Me means mama. Chame divyam. Another meaning of the shloka is that my appearance and activities are astonishing even for me. Divya means astonishing. The Sri Sampradaya, this understanding is given. My birth and appearance, my activities are astonishing even for me. So, we see that this principle, that how Krishna himself gets astonished by his own characteristics. Krishna himself is astonished by his own characteristic. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personality, because one of the internal reason for Mahaprabhu's appearance is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to understand what is it in me. Krishna wants to understand that what is it in me which is attracting people to render service to me. So, for example, this principle, how the Krishna himself gets astonished by his own activities, by his own qualities. This principle appears in many other forms of Krishna. When we see Ramayana, Lavakusha, they learnt Ramayana from Valmiki Rishi. And they recited Ramayana, and all the rishis became very astonished. And the Lavakusha came to Ayodhya. Ayodhya, by hearing Lavakusha's recitation, it spread to everyone. And then Lord Ram invited them, and Lord Ram told them to recite Ramayana. And Lavakusha started reciting Ramayana in the Sabha. That time, it is described that. But Lord Ram, when he heard the Ramayana chanted by Lavakusha, for the first time he got life in his life. Like he felt relieved, or he felt rejuvenated by hearing Ramayana. The Valmiki Balakanda, there is a shloka. Imau muni parthiva lakshananvitau kushilavau chaiva mahatapasvinau mama patid bhutikaram pravakshyate mahanubhavam charitam nibodata. That addressing the assembly of men, Ram said, both Lava and Kusha, even though ascetics, are endowed with attributes of royalty. Even though they are singers, they are ascetics. Listen to the meaningful story with concentration, Lord Ram told. And then it is said that Tatastu tau Rama vacha prachoditam prachodita avagayatam marga vidana sampada Sachapi Rama Parishadgata Shanair Bubhushaya Saktamana Babuva. So, encouraged by the words of Ram, Lava and Kusha chanted according to the appropriate mode of singing. And even Ram, Shanair Bubhushaya Asaktamana Babuva. Even Ram, who was in that assembly, desirous of peace, concentrated his mind on that chanting. Concentrated his mind on that chanting. Bubhushaya Asaktamana Babuva. So, Kamba Ramayana, Kambar says that when the Lavakusha started reciting Ramayana, at a certain point, the people in that assembly, they looked at the Simhasana. But they saw that Lord Ram was not sitting in the Simhasana. And they wondered where the Lord Ram has gone. And then suddenly they saw that Lord Ram was sitting in the midst of all the, among themselves, in the assembly, in the lower level. Because Lord Ram was sitting in the Simhasan, and he thought that the people who are sitting in the lower level, they are relishing Ramayana more than me. Therefore, he actually came down from the Simhasana and then he sat in the midst of the common people. And the common people were so absorbed in Ramayana, they did not even notice that Lord Ram came and sat in the midst of them. So, what we see here is that Lord Ram himself was attracted to hearing Ramayana. In Ram Leela we see. In Krishna Leela, the very form of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra is a testimony for this principle. When Rohini Devi, on the request of the queens of Dwaraka, when Rohini Devi started chanting speaking the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, that time Krishna, Balram, they came there, and Krishna and Balram, they became so ecstatic, and they assumed the form of Jagannath and Baldev. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the third. This one, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself is attracted to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearances, basically testimony of this principle to the highest degree. So, nobody other than Swayam Rupa Krishna is bold enough to impart such an instruction. Essentially, Mahaprabhu is telling that what is that shloka? Padma Purana. Smartavya Satatam Vishnur Vismartavyo na Jatuchit Sarva Vidhi Nishedosyur Yetayor Eva Kinkaraha. The purpose of all the rules and regulations is to always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And that is what Mahaprabhu is saying. Whether you are sleeping, eating, or waking, day and night think of Krishna and chant his name. So, yeah, we definitely, at least definitely I myself, difficult to keep my consciousness centered around Krishna. We get distracted by many things. We don't have a higher taste for hearing chanting. But just like sometimes when somebody is say practicing shooting arrows, so there is a bullseye there. Out of maybe 25 attempts, maybe once he may actually hit the bullseye. Once in a while. But at least what he can do is that, so similarly, in our 24 hours, certain time we are Krishna conscious. Sometimes even during chanting or core devotional practices, our mind may be distracted elsewhere. So certain times we are Krishna conscious. Then how do we actually then how do we spend our time? So just like a person who is practicing shooting arrows, he may not be able to hit the bullseye all the time, but at least he can aim for area closer to the bullseye. At least I'll aim for the bullseye, but at least even if I'm not able to hit the bullseye, let it not go very far from the bullseye. Let it not go at least this much distance away from the bullseye. And then he can keep punches closer to the bullseye. So in the same way that there are core devotional activities, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting the holy names, deity worship, and apart from we can try to bring as much as closer to the bullseye, as much as closer to Krishna. Tasmat kenapyupayena manakrishne niveshayat. Everyone has to identify that what is the skill, what is the area by which I can happily engage in Krishna's service. And in that way, we have to identify those activities and use that in the preaching or use that in Krishna's service. So all the devotees, when they heard Mahaprabhu's instructions, so they all loudly chanted Hari Hari, Hare Krishna. I'll end here. Some thoughts which came to my mind randomly.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Anybody wants to contribute?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Really relished your class today. It was so beautiful. I had in fact gone through the purport and it was such a difficult purport for me to understand. But then you simplified it and what a beautiful class, Prabhuji. I really like that different meaning for Janma Karma Chame Divyam, where you said the Supreme Lord himself gets amazed at his activities and birth, and the examples you gave, how of Lord Rama, then Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai, and then you said the peak of this example is Mahaprabhu. Really loved it, and loved your explanation of Shikshashtakam. And Prabhuji, you said something. Mahaprabhu stealing, was that the holy name Prabhu? I just missed that part.
He stole Srimati Radharani's love.
Oh, okay. Nice, Prabhu. Very nice. I love that explanation to how he tried to hide it in the darkness of Kali Yuga. And then to not get caught, he thought he will distribute it, but then he became more and more effulgent. That was so beautiful, Prabhu. And then Mahaprabhu confessed, and that came in the form of Shikshashtakam. So beautiful, Prabhu. Really liked your class so much. Very, very, very grateful to you, Prabhuji, for this class.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
By your great eagerness, you are able to relish even from an improper person like me.
Prabhu, I understood the purport even a bit, so your class was very beautiful for me. Matajis, if you have any questions to ask or realizations to share, please go.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just wanted to repeat what Chinmay Mataji said. That example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially echoing the words of Sikshashtakam, where he stole, he hid, and then he became more effulgent as he was sharing. That was very beautiful. Also, I like the example of the Vidvat Rudi that you were talking about. You took the example of Pankaj. That was very nice and very relevant. Thank you so much. And also all the different incarnations of the Lord, how they were so absorbed to hear their own pastimes. as if they are hearing it for the first time. All these examples were also very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very beautiful class.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you. Shall we end now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in the chat,
Okay.
Gandharvika Mataji is thanking you for a very, very beautiful class. So, yes, Prabhuji, if
Hare
there
Krishna.
are no more realizations, so with your permission, shall we offer our obeisances to all the assembled devotees and yourself, Prabhuji? One
Hare
shot.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sindhubhyev cha patitam
पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Vaishnava.
वृंद की जय
जय
जय।
जय
Yes, praise Radhika Vallabh Prabhu
प्रभु
ki
की
jai.
जय। हरे कृष्ण भाभी,
जय
धन्यवाद प्रणाम। So nice class,
Thank you
beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.